So what's the difference between Latin American journalism and American journalism? I'll tell you. By the way, this is not my chicharrón. It's for my mom, but I really wanted to taste it and make sure that it's good. The difference between Latin American journalism and American journalism is how raw Latin American journalists are. When you watch the news in Spanish, they want to show you everything. They have no censorship whatsoever. Okay, I'm not eating any more of her chicharrón. So many of you saw this person in New York lit himself on fire. And when I was watching the news, the American journalists, they were saying things like, can you point, the reporter was talking to the cameraman. She was saying things like, can you point towards him, but don't get him. That doesn't happen in Spanish news. A Spanish reporter would be like, can you point to him and make sure you get his facial expression. Yeah, that's how raw Spanish news are. So raw, in fact, that I constantly tell my mom, you need to not be watching too much Spanish news because she has paranoia and she suffers from depression, and watching all of this and how raw the news is in Spanish is not good for her. And the thing is, Latin American people are so used to it and so accepting of this behavior from journalists that they want more. In 5 o'clock news, you got to be prepared to see some gruesome stuff because there's no censorship in Latin American journalists. It also applies to newspapers. Newspapers, you're reading stories and you're looking at the body with the guts out. That's how raw they are. The other complaint I have about Latin American journalism is, how when you watch the weather, these weather girls wear the skimpiest outfits. Your 5-year-old should not be watching Spanish television. And they don't care who's watching. They don't care. And why is it that it's the weather girls, that these female meteorologists that wear the skimpiest